What's up guys, it's Nims Reviews here, back with another One Piece video. Today I'm going to honestly try to make this one fast because I plan on making 2 more in-depth videos on this chapter before the next one comes out. But yeah, after last week's break we finally got chapter 1022 and it didn't disappoint, so let's hop right into it. The chapter starts off letting us know that the number gap between the Alliance and Kaido's side has shrunk and that all of the Tobiropo have been defeated. I'm really glad Oda went out of his way to tell us that the Tobiropo are actually defeated, because many people, including myself, were pretty skeptical about their defeat. Especially with it being so fast. Not that the fights were easy, but we didn't see much of them, besides the final moments at least. Which does make sense because we have so many things to cover in Onigashima. So I don't blame Oda for that. But that, as well as the ancient zones being said to be incredibly durable and resilient, and also having an incredible healing factor, led me to think that maybe they weren't actually defeated and this was some sort of red herring to give us false hope. And by us, I do mean the Alliance as well as the readers. Also, like I said, I'm trying to get through this fast, so I'm recording I'm just recording. So you might hear pages turn from what I'm reading from my script or whatever. So if you hear that, that's what it is. Sorry about that. It's normally not like this. I'm trying to do better with the audio and whatnot. But I don't really want to spend too much time on the review part of this chapter. I'd rather spend that time making the videos that I talk more in depth about the fights that are going to happen that we see later on in this chapter that we're about to get to. So next, we are told that the Onigashima is 15 minutes away from the flower capital. This is just said to add suspense and will most likely just make the moment where Momonosuke holds up the flower capital, at least when I think he will hold up the flower capital with his dragon devil fruit. It'll make that moment happening at the last second very, very impactful, at least more impactful than it would have been if we didn't have time updates consistently. We then go on to see some of the fight between Raizo and Fukurokuju, where Raizo confronts him about following someone like Orochi, and Fuku replies by saying that the Oniwabanshu have to follow the current shogun. That's very interesting to me that that's his thought process. I'm not sure. I know a lot of people thought it would have been more interesting, especially in the beginning of Wano. People might have thought that he was trying to overthrow Orochi and he was just following him just because, so he doesn't get on his bad side before his plan or whatever would have been ready. But it looks like he just follows him because it's his duty to follow the shogun, whoever it is, whoever it may be. So if he's still alive and Momonosuke becomes a shogun, he will most likely follow Momonosuke as well. Raizo also brings up the coming of a new dawn. For me, I'm not really interested in this fight at all, and the actual combat has been very, very boring. And it's honestly what I expected, but I did like the dialogue that we got from this chapter, so that makes up for the rest of it, for me at least. And Oda is continuing to bring up the new dawn, which will most likely be the beginning of a new era brought about by Luffy. After this, we finally get to see some of the fight between Killer and Hawkins, and we find out that Hawkins has the straw doll connected to Kid, so Killer can't kill him unless he wants to kill his captain as well. We do see that he does slash him while he has that Kid specific doll active, and Killer does actually cut into Kid, and Kid feels it. It doesn't seem like it did too much damage to him, so I'm not that worried, but I am worried to what's to come. But I'm actually really happy how this is turning out, because I was scared that Hawkins would get easily defeated and maybe even off screen, which would have been terrible, because I really like Killer and I really like Hawkins. Ever since their first introduction back in Sabaody, I always thought at the very least they had really cool designs. But even more so with we knowing that Kid and Killer had a long connection since they were children, and Hawkins just having a weird devil fruit and him relying on fate instead of actually using his own will to move about through the new world and the paradise at that time. I always thought it was really interesting. But yeah, this shows that Hawkins is at least a little bit competent and he isn't going to make this easy for the Alliance, even if he is leaving it all to fate. I'm not sure if we've seen this, but I don't really know what the process is for Hawkins to make a straw doll of someone. I don't know, let me know if we have been told this before or shown this in a story in the comments below, because I don't remember or I don't know if it was told to us. Also, I know a lot of people were thinking Killer might die this arc, and if he doesn't figure something out soon, that is definitely a possibility now. I think something like that would be a great chance to have character growth and development for both Kid and Killer, maybe showing their backstory, showing how much Killer means to Kid, and it can make Kid grow as a person, as a pirate, as a leader, as a captain. And I'm just really hoping something like that happens. He not necessarily have to die, but something between the two of them that expands on their characters. Okay, so now we move on to the crazy part of the chapter. So we see King and Queen are together and taking care of the gifters that were switched to the line side by Tama's Devil Fruit. We also find out Sanji has been trying to hold off the two of them, King and Queen, at the same time because Marco is completely spent right now. King finds out that they are trying to heal Zoro, so he has everyone looking for him, just trying to make sure that he doesn't recover to help with the fight, because I'm pretty sure most people know that Zoro is one of the strongest in the crew. Right now, I think he has the 4th highest bounty, that's including Luffy, but I think everyone knows he's the vice captain or the first mate, whatever you want to call him, so I'm pretty sure that's why he's so, dead set on finding him before he can recover. Also, Perospero is still around, and he plans on taking Sanji out with a long-range candy arrow, but it's stopped by Nekomamushi, who's there to avenge his friend and former comrade and underling, Pedro, who took his own life trying to take out Perospero. King eventually finds Zoro, and is about to take him out with a fire attack before being stopped by Marco. Marco then tells us that he's heard of rumors about a race with the ability to conjure fire that lived on top of the Red Line. Before Marco can be attacked again, he says he's done for and he's done his part. It's time for him to leave, or at least move on to the next part, and the stars to take the stage. Zoro is finally recovered, and him and Sanji take this opportunity to get a hit in on King and Queen respectively. It's actually pretty crazy that King's race lived on top of the Red Line, and it also makes sense why they went extinct, because the Celestial Dragons and the world government definitely wouldn't want another race living on top of there, when them being on top of there with Mary Joie is basically a representation of them being on top of the world, them ruling it. So they wouldn't want another race or even group of people being up there. So it makes sense why they, most likely, were the ones who took them out besides King. I also think it's just really unexpected, because I didn't expect it at least. I personally thought he would be like an opposite to the sky races, because of the black wings. And in that case, instead of being in the sky, they'd be from the underground. But maybe they were in the sky at one point and were casted down, so they went to the closest place to the sky, which would be the Red Line. At least that's what I'm assuming. Honestly, I don't really know. I can just make theories at this point, but I would love if you let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. I'm thinking maybe if I think of something or get enough information, I'll make a video on it, but at this point, I'm not too sure, so just expect 2 other videos that I'll talk about later. But on the Zoro and Sanji moment, I'm really happy we got a moment where they are fighting together. So this made me really happy, and also, I'm surprised Sanji was able to hold his own against the two of them. It just shows how much Oda is pushing the Straw Hats this arc, at least power-wise. I don't really like how fast it's happening, especially since we got to see Luffy grow to the level he's at on screen in real time. But it's whatever. I'm just glad these fights are finally starting, and I hope to see some more info on King and Queen and their backstories. But anyway guys, that's basically all for this video. I really enjoyed this chapter and would love if you guys let me know your thoughts on it below. I do plan on making individual videos on my predictions and thoughts on the Zoro and Sanji's upcoming fights, so look forward to those. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Until next time, later.